Good morning, grade sevens. I hope you guys are actually having quite a good day today. And because today we'll be tackling more about substance abuse and what actually substance abuse is and what actually lead people to actually abuse substances. With no further ado, without wasting anybody's time, let's just get into it with our slides. Okay. Okay, substance abuse. Well, can anybody just have, or rather, can anybody just explain what substance abuse is and join the conversation on the comment section? Or even if you can, we have Menti that you can also try and answer other learners' questions, or rather having an opinion on what they are responding to. Without wasting anyone's time, we can actually get into it. Okay, remember that substance abuse can happen to anyone. It does not choose whether you're rich or poor, black or white, short or tall, fat or slim. It attacks everybody. Okay, so introduction. Well, the theme of this lesson is substance abuse, and in this lesson, we'll be discussing the different kinds of substance abuse, such as cigarettes, such as drinking alcohol in these lessons, and focus on the drugs, of course. Okay, the first question that I asked was that, what is drugs? What idea do you have on drugs? So, a drug is any substance that causes a change in an organism's physiology. When consumed, it can cause drowsiness or hyperactivity. So everything is going to depend on your organism physiology. It's either you're going to be drowsy or it's either you're going to be hyperactive. So just like any other substances, when it's been abused, it becomes very, very harmful. And this actually leads to addiction. So there's quite a number of drugs. There's alcohol, dacha, cocaine, men drugs, rock, and so forth. So these days we even have something called drink that is quite happening now in Pretoria. Apparently, it's just a combination of nyaupe and crystal meth. Most probably you guys also know about crystal meth, which actually falls under your inhalant. So all these drugs fall under various categories such as your stimulants, depressants, opium-related painkillers, and hallucinogens. So this will be tackling within the unit itself. So if we get to the next slide, let's just pop in it, guys. Okay, the pictures below shows various types of drugs. Picture 1, does anybody have an idea without even looking at the answer? Of course, I'm sure you guys did. Number 1, we have cocaine. And the next one, we have rock. And as we have those various one, with the third one being weed, or known also as marijuana, and the other one as drugs. Okay, so we have categories of drugs. These categories actually explains how each drugs is taken, whether it's inhaled, whether it's smoked, or so forth. So the first one, we have stimulants. So these drugs, they say they speed up the messages between the brain and the body. They can make a person feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. So it all depends on a person's mood and how they can react to the drug when it's been consumed. So The harmful, rather the side effects of these drugs can lead to anxiety, panic, seizures, headaches, and stomach cramps, aggression, and also paranoia. The second one is depressants. So these drugs that lower the neurotransmission levels, which means to depress or to reduce stimulation. They cause drowsiness and reduce thinking and visual ability. So these kind of depressants are widely used throughout the world as prescription medicine. Alcohol is the most common example of depressants. Hence, they say that never drink and drive because drinking while driving actually lowers your level of concentrating and also thinking. So you need to be careful of that. Don't do it, kids, when you get to that level of actually driving. Third one is inhalants. These are the variety of the psychoactive substances that are primarily inhaled. So most of these kind of drugs, they go through rather the nose because we inhale with the nose and exhale also with the nose. So it actually just goes through our windpipes. So they have a variety with chemicals with side effects. These chemicals can also be found in many everyday products such as cleaning products, glues, gas, as well as in dangerous drugs. So these kind of drugs is that you see the street guys, people that are homeless normally smoke, and also they use it for what's this? They use it for shoes. The glue that they normally use on shoes, they sniff it, the homeless people. Next slide. And we also have your hallucinogens. So these are the drugs that cause profound distortion in a person's perception of reality. So you get to hallucinate with this one. You get to see the imaginary aeroplanes inside the house. Okay, so if anybody has a reason of why people take drugs, or if you also relate on anybody that consumed drugs, how it happened and stuff, did they get the necessary help? And comment down below or head to our Menti section and also interact with the other students. Remember that. Okay, reasons why people take harmful drugs is because some people take drugs because of peer pressure, friends. Some are trying to cope with stress. Some say they take it when they are bored, find a hobby. Some are going through addiction, go to rehab. Remember these things. When you see a problem, you have to come up with a solution as you go by. Some want to be sociable. Sociable can go hand in hand with peer pressure. It can be indirectly peer pressure. And some just enjoy the feeling. They get either they become stimulated or so, as we learned before, we did see that any substance that you take in has harmful side effects. So these are all the side effects that we can get: physical, mental, emotional, and legal. So all of these things actually change how a normal person could actually live their normal life. So it actually has a negative impact on how a normal person can go by their life. Behavioral also changes. They go by physical symptoms. For an example, physical symptoms could be bloodshot or glazed eyes, dilated pupils, weight changes, pure physical coordination, unusual body odors. People actually that does drug, they happen to have body odors. So These are also some of the signs that you actually look into when you suspect that a person could be actually taking substances that are harmful for the body. Prevention. Recognize the signs and symptoms of abuse so that it will help people to deal with the problem right from the start. So this is called early detection. So this is actually you recognizing signs and symptoms like we mentioned on the previous slide. So it is easier to manage drug use before it takes over the person's life and becomes a habit. If there are sudden inexplicable changes in the person's behavior, attitude, or appearance, look for those signs. So if we can all sit down and reflect about what we have learned about substance use and what we can actually do to make sure that we actually do not end up being people that actually abuses substances that are harmful to our bodies. As I said, let us comment below and let us all interact with the other learners and see how people can actually get to understand and see also what people think about substance abuse, use of substance, and also to actually have actually learn about what people or other people are actually going through. Sometimes it's always nice to relate, even if it's not directly affecting you. Guys and girls, can you just all please? I will be sending activities that will be covering the whole lesson that we just had, that will be focusing on the textbook that was prescribed, which is from page 79 up until page 83. With all the love from your teacher, Ma'am K. Good day.